Controlling the outfield is just part of the responsibility when owning the job. Performance and production at the plate is often more glaring when tabulating the final results. The Phillies outfield is offering opportunity to many, and spring training will be the stage to find out what fits. It's a very pleasant Saturday afternoon here in Clearwater, Florida. The Phillies are home for a second consecutive day. Today, they welcome in for the first time their closest neighbors from Dunedin. The Toronto Blue Jays are in town for a Saturday affair. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Ben Davis and Matt Stairs. We've been talking a lot about competition so far in spring training, which is the norm. In the Phillies outfield, there is some competition. If you look at the guys that are in camp, Ben Revere is the starting center fielder. Dominic Brown is going to be the starting right fielder, moving over from left. But left field is wide open, and there's been a lot of conversation, Matt, about Dominic Brown. He had a solid year 2 seasons ago, not so much last year.
Well, the biggest thing for Dominic Brown this spring, he's been working on his bounce. As you can see these pitches right here, in 2013, everything was nice and compact. He had good bounce in there. 2014, bad habit. Too much weight on his outside of his left foot, which causes his right hip to fly open. His head gets away from his shoulder. That way you don't have a power swing.
Well, for me, it's getting his hands in the right proper power position, keeping that back elbow connected to your body, and making sure his front elbow, his lead elbow, the right elbow, doesn't get barred out. That prevents him from being really long to the ball. So hopefully he can make those adjustments.
Well, we'll see if he can. He's been working hard to try to duplicate the numbers from 2 seasons ago. Last year, just 10 home runs compared to 27 back in 2013. 63 RBIs last year, 83 runs batted in 2013. Everything is a work in progress this year in spring training for the Phils. Today, the progress continues for Jerome Williams, making his second appearance, and Mark Burley, one of the quickest workers in the majors, will take the baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, there's a whole lot to do here at Bright House Field. There's also a whole lot to eat here at Bright House Field. We'll be back with the lineups of the first pitch here in Clearwater right after this. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, introducing One Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. Back here at Bright House Field in Clearwater as we get set for the Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays. The national anthems for both the United States and Canada were just sung. As the color guard is marching off the field, the players are waiting before they head back to their respective dugouts. Back-to-back games here at Bright House Field for the Phillies. They lost yesterday, and now for the first time this spring, and they'll face them a handful of times. For the first time this spring, they'll take on the Toronto Blue Jays, who are kind of revamped again from a season ago when they finished disappointingly out of the race in the American League East. The umpires are heading up the line after they got the lineup cards. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Derek Barton leads off at first base, followed by Russell Martin and Josh Donaldson. Justin Smoke, over from the Seattle Mariners, is the cleanup batter for the Jays. Dalton Pompey is in center field. Dion Viciedo is in left field. He was just signed a couple weeks ago by Toronto. Kevin Pillar, the right fielder, will bat seventh. Devin Travis bats eighth, and batting ninth and playing shortstop is Ryan Goins. Second outing of the spring for Jerome Williams. Last time out, he came out of the bullpen, 2 scoreless innings, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. We could have the 2 fastest workers in spring training going at it today between Jerome and Mark Burley.
Yeah, it should be fun. And Jerome Williams, this is his 3rd different team. He played for 3 different teams last year. Change-up, curveball, slider. What you'll see is he tops out at 92 miles an hour. When he's thrown well, he has that late movement with the sinker, and he's down in the zone.
First outing, he was throwing strikes. He was throwing first-pitch strikes. It was very effective in relief of David Buchanan. Also today, the Phillies will probably put out Jonathan Papelbon for the first time this spring, so we'll get a chance to see him. Toronto 2-2 so far this spring. Meanwhile, Ryan Sandberg's Phillies are 1-2-1. So here we go. Derek Barton will lead things off for the Blue Jays, playing first base today. Last year he hit 158 in the majors with no homers and 5 RBIs. He had 9 home runs for the A's AAA affiliate. Pretty good defensive first baseman, and here's the first pitch of the day. Take it down low, according to Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, so we're underway. It was a cool morning here in Clearwater. It's getting warmer as the day has gone on. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's not very often you see a first baseman leading off.
No, and he's a guy that's trying to make this club. We said he's a very good defensive first baseman. He's hoping that may dictate success. Tops that one out to Cesar Hernandez. 1 away here in the first. Well, probably the biggest acquisition for the Toronto Blue Jays this offseason, even more so than the guy on deck, is Russell Martin, who is strolling to the plate. Martin spent the last 2 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and a native of Canada, getting a chance to go north of the border to play, signing a 5-year contract.
The thing that always impressed me about Russell Martin is the fact that he plays literally every day. He's very durable, and what he did last couple years in Pittsburgh, it's, you know, the pitchers really enjoyed throwing to him, knowing that he's going to be back there for the majority of their starts.
I think a lot of those pitchers hoped that he would come back again for that young Pirates squad that's getting stronger, getting older. Obviously, they have the veteran presence in the rotation now with A.J. Burnett.
But there were 82 million reasons to go north of the border.
Out towards second base, Cesar Hernandez is on the outfield grass, puts it away. Well, we mentioned the weather. We know that it's still quite cold back home, and hopefully there's going to be a break in that over the next couple of days. Here today, temperature has just reached 70 degrees. It's overcast and quite breezy. But hitters, this is the kind of day that you didn't like because the wind is blowing in right now in spring training. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
It was always blowing in when I was hitting.
Especially if you're a fly ball hitter.
Josh Donaldson takes a strike. It's 0-1. Donaldson last year with the A's, 255, 29 home runs, 98 runs batted in. Blue Jays picked him up this past offseason in a trade. towards center field. Ben Revere got turned around a little bit, but he was in the right spot. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jerome Williams. Pretty quick, just like his last outing. Phillies coming up for the first time. Bottom of the first inning, the Phillies watch the Jays go down quietly. Let's take a look at Ryan Sandberg's starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Ben Revere leads it off at center field, followed by Freddie Galvis, and then Darren Ruff gets a start in left again. Ryan Howard's over at first base. Carlos Ruiz caught yesterday, DHs today. Dominic Brown's in right field, and then the bottom third of Franco, Rupp, and Cesar Hernandez against Mark Burley, who, if he had his way, would probably throw his 3 innings today and be out of here by, what would you think, 1:30, Ben?
It was always a joy to catch. I played with him in Chicago. He'd go into his windup before I even put a sign down. Literally.
See his numbers from a season ago. Well, are these, is this scouting report for Mark Burley any different than when you caught him?
You know what? It is pretty accurate. His velocity has gone down a little bit. He's 83 to 86. He does work extremely fast. But, you know, I talked about, durability. He has 14 straight seasons with 30-plus starts.
It's remarkable.
14 straight.
With the Blue Jays, he's 25 and 20. It's his second turn around in the American League. He's on the doorstep of 200 victories for his career. He has 199 wins and a career ERA of 3.81. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ben Revere. And that's way outside. 3-2. Revere last year 184 hits. That was tops in the National League, and he slaps that one into left field, a base hit. A good start for the Phillies and a good start for Ben Revere. Our Toyota leaderboard. Game started. Mark Burley, the active leader, with 461. Tim Hudson, Bartolo Colon, CeCe Sabathia coming back from a knee injury, and Barry Zito is trying to make a comeback with the Oakland A's. Actually pitched pretty well yesterday. Here's Freddie Galvis batting second today. 176 hitter a year ago. He's hitting 200 this spring. First pitch is over. It's 0-1. Freddie last year started 2 for 24 in the big leagues. That one back toward the middle, off the foot of Burley. Donaldson can't get it. Revere's going to go to third. And Galvis, well, he's going to stop at first base. That'll be a base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Phillies. Well, guys, this is kind of refreshing considering how quiet the offense was yesterday.
Well, it is. And what I like the first two at bat, especially with Ben hitting the ball to left field, Galvis staying back behind the ball longer, letting the ball get deep, and using the big part of the field, staying up the middle. Very frustrating facing a Mark Burley when you try to pull. You have to you almost got to have the thought process of, I need to get jammed and stay back.
Well, let's see if the Phils could capitalize with a first inning run. Darren Ruff, so far hitting .222 this spring, hitting third. He'll be followed by Ryan Howard. And Ruff takes a strike. It's 0-1.
You know, Burley is one of those guys where if you don't stay back and try and stay up the middle or the opposite field, you will have 4, 6 threes. You know, ground ball to short.
Well, that looked like a cutter that bared down on the hands of Ruff, and it's a pop-up towards shortstop, and Goins takes care of him. Honestly, we've watched him do that his entire career, where he's been able to get in on those right-handed hitters like that.
Number 6.
Well, he makes you very conscious of that changeup away. He does have a good sinker down and away as well, but you know, once you start diving, he will throw that cutter in there, and that's the result.
Well, he gets the first out. Here's Ryan Howard. Howard has 1 RBI this spring, and it came in the first game here at Bright House Field. Overall hitting .286. Blue Jays do have a shift on. It's not drastic. The ball is pulled right to the first baseman. That's going to wind up being 2. He hit it hard. Well, nothing to show for it, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left over at third for the Phillies.
Hi.
Check out Phillies.com for all the upcoming ticket opportunities and promotional dates at Citizens Bank Park, like McDonald's opening night. Free to fans 15 and over is the McDonald's opening night T-shirt. It's Wednesday, April 8th at 7:05 when the Phils take on the Boston Red Sox. We begin the second. Jerome Williams threw 9 pitches in the first, 7 strikes. Here's Justin Smoke, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Smoked 20 home runs 2 years ago with the Mariners. He was originally with the Rangers. The Rangers traded him to the Mariners in the Cliff Lee deal. Outside, 1-2. Why is it so important for a guy like Jerome Williams to throw strike 1 to these hitters? I know it's important for everybody, but why is it important for a guy like Jerome?
Well, I think he doesn't have overpowering stuff, and that's the last thing he wanted to do on a 1-2 count was hit Smoke in the back. But he doesn't have overpowering stuff, so to get ahead, you want to put the hitter on the defensive as much as possible.
This looked like a pitch, two-seamer that didn't come back all the way. Well, the first base runner for the Blue Jays, and that'll bring Dalton Pompey to the plate.
Release was more across his body. I think he just kind of pulled that pitch. You see him spin off of his landing foot, his left leg there, and just pulled the ball with him.
Pompey bunts up the first base line. It's foul. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Pompey played on 3 different levels a season ago. Most of his games were with Dunedin, where he hit .319, but overall he hit .317 on those 3 levels. 9 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. Took something off that pitch. It's 0-2.
It's a very nice changeup right there. They say a good changeup right down the middle of the plate is the hardest pitch to hit. One, you don't know what to do with it. You don't know if you want to pull it, hit the ball opposite field.
That one back toward the box under the glove of Williams. Picked up by Galvis, and no chance to get the speedy Pompey. I wonder if they would have been better suited to let it just go back toward the middle and get the runner at second or not. I don't know. It was going to be bang bang no matter where they looked. Once Williams missed the ball.
Right. But tomorrow you'll probably see him on the half field doing PFPs.
For
first
sure.
of all. But I think you're right, Tom. If you would have stayed back a little bit, might have had a better chance to get Justice Smoke at second base.
Yeah, Pompey was flying down the first base line. All right, so they scored that a base hit for Pompey. And here's Dion Viciedo. Viciedo just signed by the Blue Jays after being let go by the White Sox. Now this one should be 2. It is. .643 double play, and the Jays have runner over at third. Cesar Hernandez playing second base today. Chase Utley again took batting practice, did everything that you would normally do before a ball game. Kevin Pillar has a home run so far this spring. He had 2 home runs last year in the big leagues. Playing right field today. Blue Jays made so many changes prior to last season and the season before. Everybody expected that they would be in the hunt in the American League East. It just never worked out. But they've kind of retooled, and they think that they have a chance to dethrone the Baltimore Orioles for that top spot. On paper, it's going to be a heck of a division.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a slugfest, that's for sure. And Toronto's got some tremendous power hitters. Encarnacion, Batista, Donaldson. You know, I think with Russell Martin behind the plate this year, he's going to take control of that pitching staff.
That one sweeps in, 2-1.
I think the game plan for Toronto is to try to move Encarnacion back to DHing and give even Barton or Smoke a chance to play at first base.
That one is ripped into left field, a base hit. The Jays will take the lead. It's an RBI single. Smoke scores. So that mishandled ground ball earlier in the inning hurts Jerome Williams. So 1-0 Toronto. Well, this guy coming up to the plate is involved in competition, a big competition for the Blue Jays. They don't really have a second baseman, a named second baseman yet. And Devin Travis, who played at AA last year for the Detroit Tigers and a little bit of AAA, was acquired in a trade that sent Anthony Ghost to the Blue Jays, or to the Tigers, I should say. Franco throws him out, and the side is retired. A run does score, a couple base hits for the Blue Jays as they take the early lead. Phillies Frank's Dollar Dog Nights begin Thursday, April 9th, when the Phillies take on the Boston Red Sox. It's the first of many. Tickets can be purchased for all games, including the first Hatfield Dollar Dog Night, by going to Phillies.com. We go to the bottom of the second. Carlos Ruiz will lead things off. Carlos said he felt pretty good after catching yesterday. Back to being the DH here today. Because of that shoulder injury that he played a lot of last year with, he did not play any winter ball at all. Not that he plays a whole lot anyway, but he does play a little bit from time to time. Out to shallow right. Travis, the second baseman, is under it. The wind will take it back toward the dirt. And one out here in the second.
Chooch so far has just a little loop in his swing. Instead of going straight down to the ball, we're talking about working from top to bottom. He just has that little uppercut right now, and that's why he's not very far from getting knocked in now.
You know, one of the things that stood out about him from last year, I think he was most disappointed with, and I know, Matt, you talked to him a lot. I think he was most disappointed with his RBI total last year.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy with his production at home plate with driving people in, that's for sure.
Here's Dominic Brown.
You know, we did the open with Dominic Brown about getting in the proper position. His batting practice today, and again, I know it's just batting practice, it was as good as I've seen. He was getting into a strong position. And really, he was launching some balls.
But you guys both played. I mean, you know that sometimes, you know, that's where it begins, is trying to get consistent BP, then carrying it over into the game.
Yeah, it gets so repetitive in batting practice, but carrying that over to the game is sometimes difficult.
Early over to cover in time. 3-1 on the putout. And 2 outs for Maikel Franco.
97, number 7, third base.
I don't think it's any surprise that Mark Buehrle has thrown a first pitch strike to all 6 batters that he's faced so far.
No. Ben, you surprised?
No.
Franco takes a strike, so that's 7 in a row. Franco, 16 home runs last year in the minor leagues. Chops it to short. Buehrle's going to be able to throw 12 innings today if it goes like this. A 1-2-3, bottom of the second, 2 in the books. Jays on top, 1-0. Sunday, April 12th, is Turkey Hill Kids Opening Day at Citizens Bank Park. That's when the Phillies wrap up a 3-game series with the Washington Nationals. A Phillies bat pack free to fans 14 and under. It's not backpack. Bat, B-A-T, pack free to fans 14 and under. Order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Well, the sun has popped out. Blue skies starting to appear here in Clearwater.
Now, Tom, I give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
You said 20 minutes for the first 2 innings. You were right on.
Yeah, Burley, it looks like he is done. This is his first official outing. He threw over in Dunedin, not in a game. I thought maybe he'd go 3 today. He is fast. I mean, we've done games. You've caught games with him, but we've done games where he is just, it's been lightning quick.
And I know folks at home probably don't believe me when I say that he would literally start his windup, and I would put a finger down and he would throw it.
But I guess he's not too far off your target that you can't handle what he's throwing.
No.
You don't need to always know what he's throwing. 0-2 to Ryan Goins. Swing and miss. First strikeout for Jerome Williams. 1 out here in the third.
First baseman, Derek Barton.
And back to the top for Derek Barton.
Now, with Burley, is it true that he never shakes off his catcher?
Never.
He just trusts you guys.
Yeah, he's got 2 no-hitters, and he doesn't shake off his catcher.
It's impressive.
And that's why, you know, you talk about a no-hitter. You can really, obviously he still has to execute the pitch. But from a catcher standpoint, you can take a lot of credit in the fact that you called a perfect game or you called a no-hitter. I mean, that would be pretty darn cool because you're the one that's thinking.
The ball's 1 strike to Barton. Watch it foul to the defense of the Blue Jays dugout. When you think about the last 2 no-hitters for the Phillies, not the combined one that the pitchers threw last year in Atlanta, but the 2 individual ones, the Halladay ones, the perfect game no-hitter. How much he credited Carlos Ruiz for everything he did in those games. Out to left, it'll hang up for Darren Rupp. 2 outs here in the third. And Russell Martin's coming up.
Now, that no-hitter, though, in Atlanta last year, that was pretty neat. And then, unfortunately, we also were on the air calling
Josh Beckett.
Josh Beckett's no-hitter. That one, not so much fun.
No.
I remember I had the game on pre and post last year when the Phillies did that. And Cole Hamels, I remember watching that game. He had nothing.
No, he didn't. And by the time the 5th inning was done, I mean, he was exhausted.
He was throwing hard, but he had no grip for the ball. It was real hot that day. You know, he couldn't. And I remember watching it. He labored through 5 innings.
Outside 2-0. David Buchanan is starting to loosen in the bullpen for the Phils. Off the plate. Cameron Rupp says he's got it. Russell Martin taking a Sunday stroll. It's an easy play. And the Jays go down 1-2-3 in the third. We go to the bottom of the third here at Bright House Field. The Phils. To the bottom of the third, it'll be Cameron Rupp, Cesar Hernandez, Ben Revere against the new right-hander Marco Estrada. We haven't talked to Murph at all today, so this is the perfect time to bring in Greg Murphy. And Murph, on behalf of Ben and Matt, I want to congratulate you on getting Jose Bautista to follow you on Twitter. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I felt very honored until I saw that he's following 314,000 other people. but you know what?
You got that going for you.
Yeah, I do have that going for me. Hey, let's talk a little bit about a position, guys, that probably not a whole lot of people are talking about, and that is an open job for the Phillies at the backup catcher position. The guy coming up right now, Cameron Rupp, probably the front runner for that job. And, when you stop to think about it, if you know what you know about Carlos Ruiz, obviously he is the starter on this team, but they'd like to have him only play about 110, 120 games this year, which means that backup position is going to be so important. Had a chance to talk to Cameron Rupp about how he's approaching this camp today. He also has, he has some competition for that role, but he's looking at it like a huge opportunity, a guy that has never really had this opportunity before at the big league level. He played 18 games with the Phillies a year ago, but he's coming in at camp. He said, honestly, I'm treating it like I'm going for that starting job. And he knows that Carlos is the man, but Cameron's in here knowing that he has an opportunity and trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, I think defensively, and Ben, you can talk about this better than anybody, but defensively, I think he has proven that he has what it takes. He's got a good arm. He's got soft hands, but he does probably have to hit a little bit more than what we've seen.
You have to hit, but you're right, though. I do like his hands. He's got a very, very good arm, and he blocks the ball extremely well. So those are 3 pluses. I would like to see him hit the ball a little bit better. It's one thing to be a backup catcher, but you still have to hit. I mean, you still have to put up some numbers, just so you're not another out in the lineup.
Yeah, guys, I talked to him about that today, and it's a very small sample size, obviously, but early on, he started 2 games so far, and he's been swinging a pretty good bat. He's 2 for 3. Grounds out there, 2 for 4 at this point. But he said he's seeing the ball real well right now, and it seems like his confidence level is right up there. So all good signs for Cameron Rupp as he battles for that job.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. He grounds out to third off Marco Estrada, who last year pitched for the Milwaukee Brewers, was 7-6, an ERA of 4.36. Started 18 games for the Brewers. And Toronto picked him up in November for Adam Lind.
And no relation to Eric, correct?
No relation to Eric Estrada.
Just making sure.
Nope. On the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty much carbon copy of Dan Herron's windup. I mean, almost identical.
He hangs a little bit.
He does. Right?
He's pretty similar. 1-2 now to Hernandez. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he handles the American League East, because last year in Milwaukee he gave up 29 home runs in 150 2/3 innings. It's Hernandez out front, so 2 outs here in the 3rd.
Yeah, pitching in the American League East, you could give that up in a month.
Yeah.
But if he continues throwing this nice changeup right here, a late movement down the zone, it's going to be very hard to elevate, that's for sure.
And there's that hesitation, little hesitation that that Ben was talking about. Back to the top. Ben Revere singled his first time up. Shows bunt. Ben has said that he is going to try to bunt more this year. I do believe that he's going to try to bunt more. When he said that he was going to try to hit 30 home runs, I didn't believe that. He bunts it foul. It's 0-2.
Even if he doesn't lay down 15, 20, 30 attempts this year, what it does is it moves your third baseman in, your second baseman in, makes the hole at shortstop and second base bigger, and forget those weak rollovers and get a chance to go through.
He only had 13 doubles last year, but he did say that he would like to go after 30 doubles this year, maybe 40 doubles. That's probably a little more realistic. He's trying to get more than just singles. He's trying to, be a little more productive at the top of the order.
Well, it also helps when you have 49 stolen bases. So you could take double up your singles into doubles. Say he wants 25, 30 doubles. Basically, you're going to be cutting your stolen bases in half.
Just getting these guys on at the top of the lineup is so key, because that really eliminates the shift. And we saw that in the first inning with Ryan Howard up. You know, if you do have some guys on, they can't put that complete shift on Ryan.
Good point.
And that enables him to use more of the field.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Revere. Pops it up. Third baseman Donaldson shading his eyes. The wind's got it. And into the camera well. Miles Kennedy, the Phillies team photographer, was the closest one, as it turns out, to that ball, but he went running. There's Miles with the smile on his face. There he is. It's a good circle, Matt.
Thank you.
Off the end of the bat. And a nice play by Mike Schmidt. He could always make that barehanded play at third base, couldn't he? I mean, he didn't even blink at that.
A Hall of Famer, Tom.
I know. A little low, 3-2. So he's behind 0-2 and now works it back full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So right there, if Russell Martin can kind of extend his arm out there and elevate that pitch, the umpire can see it out in front a little bit more. He kind of stabbed at it and wrote it down.
Slopwood is second. And Revere is thrown out. Phillies go down in order for a second straight inning. 8 batters in a row retired by Blue Jays pitching.
Hi, my name's
To you by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW or visit jefferson.edu. 1-0 Blue Jays as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Jerome Williams is done. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, and 1 strikeout. David Buchanan, who started the opener here at Bright House Field, and then Jerome came in and now comes in for him. He pitched effectively the other day. He did allow 5 hits. Said he would like to get his pitches down more in the zone, coming off a year in which he won 6 at an ERA of 3.75. And he'll face Josh Donaldson, Justin Smoke, and Dalton Pompey for the Blue Jays. Without really making assumptions, we think, Jerome went 3. They're hoping Buchanan could probably go 3 here today. He's being stretched out to be a starter. So. Ball's down a little bit, according to Dan Iasonia. 1 ball with no strikes. Donaldson fly to center. Dan Iasonia behind the plate. Bob Davidson started at first, now is at third. Oh boy. I don't think that one's coming back. That's a long home run for Donaldson. His first of the spring, and it's 2-0. Blue Jays on top. Well, if he does that, he's going to fit in quite nicely with the Toronto Blue Jays and the rest of that lineup.
Well, he has the type of swing that the Blue Jays organization absolutely loves. As you can see in this replay right here, he has that big leg kick. He sits there and waits for a second, recognizes where the pitch is, and crushes mistakes. And that's how Encarnacion hits, Batista hits. That's one of the things that they try to teach over there is a high leg kick, sit there, react, and then you question the left field.
I mean, the wind is coming in from right center field. I don't think it mattered where the wind was blowing with that one. 2 balls and no strikes. It was crushed.
Murdered.
And thinking about where it went to the top of the stairwell next to Frenchie's Tiki Bar.
That's why David Buchanan needs to work ahead. I know we're beating a dead horse here, but I tell you, you really have to work ahead, especially when you don't have that overpowering stuff.
Outside, 3-0 to Smoke. Smoke was hit by a pitch his first time up, came around and scored. Routine play for Cesar Hernandez, and there's one away here in the 4th inning. You know, Phillies games are fun for a group, but do you know how charitable they can be? Groups of 25 or more are eligible for fundraising opportunities that benefit their designated cause. It's a great way to raise funds and awareness. Learn more at Phillies.com/group tickets. Well, there is a large group of people that have found their way to Bright House Field. This is going to wind up being the first sellout of the spring, the first of many. The berm out in the outfield is almost filled up. 0-1 the count to Dalton Pompey. That's a good pitch right there.
Very nice change. Which has allowed him to throw that pitch because he threw the first pitch strike.
Just missed off the outside corner.
Ben, I'll ask you this question since we caught some great pitchers over your career. Why is it that a lot of pitchers have a hard time throwing first pitch strikes?
Well, you want to make a good pitch, a good quality pitch. I think there's a fear factor there. They know if a certain hitter is aggressive, they kind of shy away from that. They don't want to challenge the hitter. It's okay. It's one thing to throw a strike, but be aggressive in the strike zone is a completely different story. Challenge guys. That's what makes Mark Burley so effective is he challenges guys.
Swing and a miss. Pompey is down swinging. Cameron Rupp will fire to first. Now there are 2 outs here in the 4th. So you're not saying throw it right down the middle of the plate, but throw it in the strike zone for strike one somewhere.
Just, I mean, you talk to a lot of pitchers, and I don't care how old they are. You could say, get ahead with a strike. Well, in their mind, they're thinking, throw it like it's a 3-0 pitch, throw it right down the middle. Yeah. That's not what we're trying to accomplish there. The hardest thing to do in the world is what, Matt?
Square a baseball up.
Is hit a baseball. Even watch batting practice. Guys are flailing balls into the stands. It's hard to do. And that doesn't mean you can't challenge hitters. And it doesn't mean just lay one in there.
Viciedo grounded to a double play is only time up, and he hits that one sharply at Freddie Galvis. He stays down on it. So after allowing the home run, David Buchanan settles in, and that home run, it was a long one from Josh Donaldson and helped the Blue Jays to a 2-0 lead, his first of the spring.
For the inaugural Phillies Charities Bike Ride, join hundreds of riders for a 25-mile ride through Philadelphia on Sunday, May 17th. Net proceeds from the event benefit Phillies Charities. Registration opens on Tuesday, March 10th on Phillies.com. Frenchie's Tiki Bar has been a mainstay here at Bright House Field, and even before that, Jack Russell. It's open after the game. Well, it's open during the game, obviously, as you can see, but it's also open after the game. They've got live entertainment. In fact, on great days here in Clearwater, it's open for a couple hours after the game. I mean, you can drive down Route 19, which is the highway out in right field here, and if you have your window down, you can literally hear the entertainment as you're going by the stadium. Galvis fouls it away. It's 0-2. There's Route 19. Matt, you ever try to hit a ball out on Route 19 during BP or anything?
Yes. Did I ever make it?
No.
No.
It's a pretty good way. Breaking ball, 1-2.
Talking about Jack Russell Stadium, I remember we were down there as kids. Our folks took us down. I remember leaning, they were playing the Mets. I remember leaning over the dugout and getting Greg Jeffries' autograph on a card, one of his cards. And this is when he was one of those hot rookies coming up.
Yeah, Jack Russell is, I guess you would say, about 3 miles from here. This has always been the minor league complex where the minor leaguers are right now. But the major league complex was the Jack Russell Stadium, which is still there. They still play high school games there and some college games and stuff like that. There's the complex we were talking about, the Carpenter Complex. All the minor leaguers are in camp. They all finished their physicals yesterday. And Ruff takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Check swing. And Barton will take it to the bag. 2 outs. So he's got the first 2 batters aboard. And that's really it today.
It's interesting to see a picture of the minor league parks over there. 1:55 in the afternoon, and they're still on the field working. That's the difference between spring training in the minor leagues and the big league spring training is it's a full day in minor league camp.
Yeah, and they'll eventually start playing games, and those games will go on back there while games are going on here. Ryan Howard swings at the first pitch. He hits it square again, but right at the first baseman for the second time. Phillies down in order for 3 straight innings here at Bright House Field. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Well, with Ben Davis, Matt Stairs, and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. Murph, what's going on down the left field line? Anything exciting going on? You're getting a lot of sun today.
Yeah, I got the sunblock on. No, it's kind of quiet down here on the left field line. I was just talking to Jonathan Papelbon and Jesse Biddle, who are both out there in the dugout or in the bullpen now because they're getting ready to come into this ball game after David Buchanan. But other than that, it's been kind of quiet down here. But we'll keep you posted, Tom.
Pap in a good frame of mind as he goes out and warms up?
He seemed to be. Yeah, he seemed to be. He was giving me a hard time about a couple of different things.
Oh, okay.
So that means he's in a good frame of mind.
Anything you can share with us? Anything?
Probably not.
Oh,
no. Okay. I think it's better that we don't.
Okay.
We are playing Toronto.
That's true.
Kevin Pillar takes inside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. He singled home a run his first time up. Chopper foul. Verdugo Herrera comes out of the dugout. Fields it cleanly.
His hat must have fell off.
Nah, I can stay on.
Ball is ripped foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shot, Ryan Howard. Nice job by Buchanan. He does get there, but Howard's going to take it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted. And a quick out here in the 5th.
I was hoping he would go with that sequence right there, and I started to do it later on in my career because it was tough. I knew it was tough as a hitter, but you call a breaking ball and they throw the breaking ball so you see something that's spinning. The next pitch you come back with a changeup. As a hitter, you don't see any rotation, you don't see anything spinning. You automatically, your brain tells you it's a fastball. It's not, it's a changeup. So you're hitting for a fastball, but it's slower, and then you get that result. It's tough to react after a ball that's spinning. You just assume it's going to be a heater if it's not.
So is it better to back up a ball that's spinning with something like that instead of let's say a cutter or something?
No, it doesn't mean you can't throw something hard right after that. Obviously, it ultimately comes down to location, but it's just something that you're just not expecting. 2 off-speed pitches like that in a row. One spinning, yeah, it's a breaking pitch. One's not, you assume it's a fastball.
Well, that's the 4th hit of the day for the Blue Jays. A 1-out single. And it brings Ryan Goins to the plate. Goins struck out his first time up. That was against Jerome Williams, who went 3 innings today and allowed 2 hits and 1 run. The other run the Blue Jays scored was on a solo home run by Josh Donaldson. High with a fastball, or cutter, I should say. It's 1-0. Goins playing shortstop today. That position will be handled by Jose Reyes for the Blue Jays. Well, you just saw David Buchanan do there, throw over. It's not an oddity, obviously, for a pitcher to do that. But Bob McClure did point out to us that David is working on handling the running game better. Sort of becoming a complete pitcher almost. Runner goes, ball's chopped to second. They'll get the runner at first. 4-3 on the putout.
First baseman, Garrett Martin.
I guess there are some pitchers that are better than others when it comes to holding runners on.
Kind of an interesting time to do a hit and run with just 1 out. Unless it was a running hit. Usually see it with no out.
I'm thinking it was just a straight steal.
American League, they do things differently in the American League.
North of the border, too, so they do a lot of different things different.
1-0 to Derek Barton. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded to second. He's fly to left. 8 years up in the big leagues with the Oakland A's. You sometimes forget some of these guys. You know, particularly when they're playing out west in the American League. But back in 2010, he walked 110 times. It's a lot of walks. Pickoff play is on. Almost got him.
Well, that's definitely the Oakland way. The Oakland A's way is having a lot of. You see a quick pickoff right here, and this strong throw just gets back. But Oakland A's love the walks. Pitch count. And Billy Beane, he wouldn't be happy right now with the approach that the Phillies are taking right now.
High chopper to first. Ryan Howard waits for it. You got a room service hop, and that'll do it for the Jays here in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 5th here in Clearwater. Could be as fun as a Phillies game. Check out all the fun giveaways and promotions this season at Phillies.com/fun. Make your plans now. Phillies will open the 2015 season against the Boston Red Sox, only after they play 2 exhibition games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. One defensive change for the Blue Jays. Danny Valencia, former Minnesota Twin, is now playing third base. Josh Donaldson is done. And the new pitcher is right-hander Miguel Castro. He'll take over from Marco Estrada. So Burley 2 scoreless. His first outing. Estrada 2 scoreless. Showed a very good change, which is the norm for him. Phillies have managed only 2 hits as Carlos Ruiz will lead things off. Castro's numbers in the minor leagues last year.
I would like to see the Phillies start putting together some more quality at bats. Even if they make an out, I want to see a good approach and hitting the ball hard. I've seen a lot of check swings, jam shots, early pitch, early count swinging. So,
yeah, and there's been such a big emphasis on approach and how you're handling certain things. That ball was whipped to the plate pretty quickly.
97.
And Smoke takes care of Ruiz.
But again, first pitch swinging and a pop-up.
Right fielder Dominic Brown.
Well, I've talked about it before. Swinging at the first pitch, getting a hit or not getting a hit does not help you in the long run, because you never really get your timing down. And I agree with you, Ben, 100%. They need to start putting quality at bats, start seeing some pitches, and start working the count.
I think the best at bat today, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, from a Philly standpoint, was Revere's second at bat when he grounded out, where he was down 0-2 and then climbed back to 3-2 before. Well, he was 3-2 in his first at bat too. Ball hit sharply, knocked down by Travis. But 3 pitches, 2 outs for the 20-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and Ben's 2 at bats. He's seen, what, 12 pitches?
Right.
It's tremendous. That doesn't mean that you lose your aggressiveness hitting. If you're going to get a pitch to hit, go ahead and tally away.
Franco grounded to short his first time up. They play him to pull, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
97-mile-an-hour fastball, 84 first pitch slider. Go get him. Go get him, Michael.
20 years old. 6'5". .5", 190 pounds. There's Papelbon warming up in the pen.
He can tie his shoe standing up as well. 6'5". That's some long arms.
Over toward third. That's a fair ball. Valencia. Well, this is a quick inning. 6 pitches. That's it. Phillies go down in order for a 4th straight inning.
Grandpa Bodie.
Well, it's that time of the year, not only spring training baseball, but also college basketball. The CAA tournament will continue later on today when College of Charleston will take on the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. College of Charleston just 9 wins, taking on the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. And how about Monte Ross's Delaware Blue Hens? They'll take on Northeastern. Northeastern comes into that ball game with 20 victories. So 6 o'clock, College of Charleston, and also the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, and then at 8:30, Delaware and Northeastern coming up on the Comcast Network beginning at 6 p.m. There is a final in the CAA. William and Mary, and they're an outstanding team. They defeated Elon 72-59, so they will advance to the semifinal of the CAA. And coming up in just a few moments, James Madison will take on Hofstra, Matt Brady's James Madison squad. Jonathan Papelbon is the new pitcher for the Phillies. Pap last year, 39 saves. And 2 wins, an ERA of 2.04. And he will face Russell Martin, Danny Valencia, and Justin Smoke. This is probably the last at-bat for Martin. Although I say that, you never know with catchers later on in the spring. Catchers will want to catch as long as possible because they want to see every pitcher that's still on the roster.
But it's March 7th, so I think he'll be done after this AB.
So far, Martin is 0 for 2. He's popped out, grounded out. That one's out to right field. Dominic Brown not going to get that one. It slices away from him, but he covers it up quickly. Leadoff single.
He's done.
That is it for Russell Martin.
Supposed to be that fastball low and away, and it tailed right back over the middle of the plate.
So Martin has done Anthony Alford, who's a backup outfielder, is going to pinch run for him. Here's Danny Valencia, who is hitting .333 this spring, up for the first time. Runner goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to second is not in time. It hits the runner, but Hernandez is there to back it up.
Nothing Rupp could do there.
I was just
absolutely
about to say.
Nothing. Now that's a play. Maybe during the regular season, you're just going to eat because you're not going to throw him out. There's no way you're going to throw him out with that jump. So in spring training, it's nice to get a rep in. Maybe throw the ball down there. He just kind of rushed it right there, but just no chance.
Yeah, Pap is not the best at holding on runners, but I don't even think he's worried about it at this point. I mean, he's trying to, as they say, get his work in. But the Blue Jays do have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the 6th. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kind of interesting talking to Bob McClure about Papelbon and the year he had a season ago, and kind of discussing how he's become more of a pitcher. He thinks out there a little bit more, or needs to think out there a little bit more than what he did when he was with the Red Sox early on. Tries to outsmart the hitters a little bit because his fastball, there it was at 93 miles an hour, but will be in that sort of neighborhood most of the time.
Well, really, back in the Boston days, he was a 2-pitch pitcher. He had a tremendous fastball, 96, 97, and he had that devastating split-finger fastball. I think now his bread and butter pitch is that slider.
He definitely has commanded it better last year compared to the year before. First strikeout as Justin Smoke comes up. Smoke was hit by a pitch his first time up, grounded out his last time.
Great spot to miss. Great spot to miss.
Tell you what, that's a positive sign right there, seeing Papelbon throwing 93 miles an hour already. Good movement.
And he's calling his own pitches. Keep an eye on him. He called the fastball up and in. He called the fastball inside. He just had to go back away. Rupp's not even putting fingers down.
It's got to be confusing the heck out of the hitter.
Look, you see, he just pointed up.
Did he just do it again?
Yeah. He's calling every pitch.
The other thing about Jonathan Papelbon right now is that he's wearing the wrong hat. The spring training hat, the red with the blue brim. He's got the all red hat on right now.
Told you.
And a called strike 3. Boy, Smoke even knew it was coming, and he couldn't go after it. 2 strikeouts for Pap.
The late movement right there. The front door sinker. That's what he called the Yahoo ball.
We'll bring Dalton Pompey to the plate. Pompey is 1 for 2. He singled, he struck out. Swing and a miss. There's that slurve. What did he just call him?
Sinker.
Sinker.
Did he?
That was a slider. Now he's throwing the sinker.
Okay.
Jamie would do that from time to time. If a guy's back was turned, he'd just call it.
Sailed outside.
This one's on Rupp.
Yep, I was just thinking the same thing. balls, 1 strike. Out toward right field, Dominic Brown is under it. And Jonathan Papelbon works away from the leadoff single to get the next 3 batters in his spring training debut. Mobile app. Get breaking Phillies news and analysis from our insiders like Jim Salisbury, plus video, scores, schedules, and more. Visit csnphilly.com/app and download today. Some changes for the Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead it 2-0.
I got home run lemonade.
Caleb Gindel takes over in right field for the Blue Jays. Josh Tolley is behind the plate. He'll take over for Russell Martin. Over at third base, Steve Tollison will take over for Danny Valencia, who's still in the game. Valencia goes from third base over to first base. Those are the changes right now for the Blue Jays. Well, if Wilton Lopez picks up right where Burley, Estrada, and Castro left off, Phillies are going to have a tough time. They have 2 hits. First 2 batters of the game reached on singles. They had first and third with nobody out. Since that time, they're 0 for 14. Cameron Rupp grounded out to third his first time up. And Lopez watches Rupp hit one right into the shift. 1 out. Is there an event tonight that we don't know about that they're both going to? Both teams are going to?
No idea.
Cesar Hernandez, the hitter. Jesse Biddle warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. Cesar shows bunt, 0-1. Now, with all that said, I mean, all these pitchers, at least what we've seen, because there haven't been many deep counts, they're around the plate for the Blue Jays. Fly ball shallow right. 2 pitches, and Cesar Hernandez is retired.
Well, Tom, I'm going to argue with you on that call.
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
We don't know if they're around the plate.
I guess that's what I mean.
They're swinging so early in the count that we're not getting a chance to go and seeing how their curveball or the slider or the changeup is.
Ben Revere is the batter. He's 1 for 2. He's probably seen the most pitches out of anybody here today.
Your leadoff hitter is getting his 3rd at bat in the 6th inning with 2 outs.
It's not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
Well, it basically is the same thing that happened yesterday. 1 ball, no strikes.
Hot dog here, Cracker Jack. It's your hot dog here.
See, that's a good take by Ben right there. It's just one of those pitches you're not going to do anything with. So it's a great take. Yes, it was a strike, but you're not going to do anything with it.
Down the left field line, slicing away from Viciedo and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes.
I thought Murphy was going to make the play down
I was
there.
thinking about that. He has his hands crossed. Any idea why? Could you have made that play at all, Murph?
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to make the play. I decided that off the bat. My 2 sons are standing next to me.
What about Matt and Colin?
Yeah, Matt and Colin were going to. Colin almost got that one. He's close.
Matt showed no effort at all to go after that one.
Oh, he really didn't.
1-2 pitch. Just missed it side, 2-2. In the air to right field. It's deep, hooking toward the pole. It is foul. He's looking over to the Blue Jays dugout. They're probably saying stuff to him. It wasn't until last year that Ben Revere picked up his first major league home run.
Off a lefty as well.
Yep. Ben has come into camp. He's always been in great shape, but even stronger than a season ago, upper body wise. Fouls it away. Steve Delabar warming in the pen for the Blue Jays. Three balls, 2 strikes.
Another great at bat. Think about it, man. How much more comfortable going into the next game, if he does play tomorrow, how much more comfortable do you feel at the plate?
Well, he goes down looking, but for the 3rd straight at bat, he worked the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Phillies have gone down in order every inning except the first. First sellout of the year for the Phillies here at Bright House Field. They trail at 2-0 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. It's been a lot about the Blue Jays pitching today. Mark Burley started things with 2 scoreless innings. Ben Revere and Freddie Galvis, the only hits for the Phils, both came in their first at-bats to begin the bottom of the first. The Phillies at 1st and 3rd with nobody out in the first. And ever since then, they have gone down in order. Changes for the Phils defensively. Darren Mastriani is now in its center field. And behind the plate is Coy Hill. We've got a new battery. Hill will take over behind the dish. And on the mound is left-hander Jesse Biddle. I have to admit, I'm excited to see Biddle here today. He did not have a particularly good year last year on 3 different levels, battled injuries for most of the season. He's really worked hard trying to get commands. They say his sessions on the backfields before games began and his side sessions have been the electricity that they expected. Now it's sort of getting that into the game and seeing if he can throw strikes in the game. First batter he'll face is Dion Viciedo. The first pitch is inside. It's 1-0. Viciedo's grounded to short twice. Once into a double play. He whacks that one down the right field line. It's slicing fair. A one-hopper off the wall. Viciedo will stop at second. And he's got a leadoff double.
Well, the wind definitely helped the flight of that baseball down the right field corner.
Stopped it from slicing foul.
Stopped it from slicing. The fastball up in the zone. See, Coy Hill wants to tug it down. And usually a ball hit like that far down the right field corner is going to slice on a play, but the wind kept it straight down the line and will stand up double.
Ezekiel Carrera, the former Phil, is going to take over as pinch runner at second base, as Caleb Jindal is up for the first time. Fastball. Well, they're not giving that outside part of the play, even if it's only been a few pitches. 1 ball, no strikes.
Great velocity by Biddle right there, 94. Inside of the stretch as well.
Joe Jordan, the Phillies director of player development, hinted to us that Jesse Biddle will begin in Double-A Reading this year. But he did say that he has every right, Jesse that is, has every right to prove him wrong. And if he pitches well in the spring, could wind up starting at Lehigh Valley. But eventually, I think they would hope he's going to be at Lehigh Valley this year. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Opposite way, that's a fair ball down the left field line. Carrera is going to score. And it'll be back-to-back doubles for the Blue Jays, and it's 3-0 Toronto. So Carrera scores easily. All about location, guys, more than anything else.
Yeah, it's great that he's throwing 93, 94 miles an hour, but now we need to get him on top of the baseball and have that down the zone pitch.
On a weak ground ball to shortstop or third. If that ball's down and away, you see there it was kind of an emergency hack right there, and you know, if the ball's elevated, all you got to do is put the barrel on it. It results in double.
Well, 2 balls and no strikes now. Coy Hill and Ryan Howard both going out to chat with Jesse Biddle. I would think, and by no means are we making excuses or anything like that, but I would think that there's butterflies. This is his first outing of the spring. First chance to be here in front of a sold-out crowd. He's got a lot to prove off last season.
He does. You know, especially all the things he went through last season. Obviously, he's throwing the ball. He feels good. 93, 94. So the adrenaline is definitely pumping right there. And you prove to people that you still have it.
Oh, my God. That ball was smoked into the crowd. And hopefully everybody's okay. It looks like they are.
hit a lady in the head.
She said she was okay, but even after it skipped past her, I mean, it was still moving pretty good. 2 balls and 1 strike to Devin Travis. Inside, 3-1. Travis grounded out to third, singled his last time up. Chopper right side. I guess that's kind of what you were talking about, Ben, down in the zone.
Down in the zone. Down in the zone. And Travis did a good job of moving him up to
right.
third base there. I don't know if I'm really taking that approach 3-1 count. I might want to maybe see if I can score him. But got the job done.
That'll bring Matt Haig to the plate for the first time. Haig has 1 RBI this spring. Runner at third, infield is in. Swing and a miss, he overpowered him. No balls and 1 strike.
Never seen a hitter before. You see a guy with his hands that upright over his head. Just think you can get up and in on him, especially in this situation. You want to jam him, keep the ball in the infield.
I think that was the first breaking ball that we've seen. You see him throw second one?
He threw one earlier, kind of got away from him, but that's where Coy Hill's going, back inside.
He came up high.
I think he feels really, really good, and that's why you see him overthrowing.
Well, I think that's the first step, is that he's healthy. Former top pick for the Phils. Down the right field line, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, we do it as hitters too, man. You feel really good, and then you start swinging harder and harder, not realizing that your bat speed gets slower and slower. In this case, the more you overthrow, the more erratic you're going to be.
Towards shortstop, a base hit. He jammed him, and he was able to float it past Freddie Galveston to draw it in infield. And it's 4-0. Jays on top. An RBI single for Matt Haig. And that'll bring Steve Towlison to the plate for the first time. Play by Coy Hill to block that breaking pitch. It looked like a curveball. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we watched the Blue Jays play last year, versus the Phillies. Gave us a pretty good thumping. You definitely have to establish pitching inside the Blue Jays hitters, this year, because they love to get their arms extended. That's what they live by, the long ball.
Yeah, they haven't changed their approach in a long time. Dwayne Murphy was the hitting coach when they started this sort of style of back-legging everything. That'll be out of play, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tolleson. breaking ball and a called strike 3. And that could have been the best pitch he's thrown today.
That's filthy.
It's not very often you see a right-hander, their knees buckle a little bit.
Well, Josh Tolley's now the hitter. Tolley 2 RBIs this year in spring training games. Takes a fastball upstairs. He's up for the first time. Russell Martin finished 1 for 3 this afternoon for the Blue Jays. Also scheduled to throw today for the Phillies is Mario Hollins. Not going to get that spot. And that's ball 4. So Tolley's aboard. Bob McClure's coming out.
And hopefully that lady that got hit in the head behind the Blue Jays dugout is fine. She's being taken out on the stretcher.
She is, yeah. I thought she waved off any assistance earlier. The ball was going in pretty fast. Here she is, being tended to by the EMTs.
The Blue Jays are nice to send up a towel and baseball, and I think it's some ice. Whenever my wife would come to the games with the kids, I said, I don't care where the seats they give you, make sure you find your way behind the net. Those balls come screaming in the stands.
Yeah, particularly in these in the minor league stadiums, which the spring training homes are. You're right on top of the action. Well, here's Valencia. Valencia, last time up, struck out. So he's 0 for 1. Runners on first and second. Swings at the first pitch. It's no balls and 1 strike.
There's an easy cure for safety for the fans. Just put the screen all the way around to the end of the dugouts. Especially the amount of broken bats that are rolling around in the baseball nowadays.
Yeah, that's become more of an issue in recent years than in previous seasons. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's strictly due to the maple bats that are being used these days. When they break, boy, they break. Ash bats tend to splinter. Maple bats explode.
Low ball 2.
Yellow birch, they don't break at all.
Who uses yellow birch anymore? Or at all?
B45.
That's the bat that you got today?
Yes, sir.
The B45. A high pop-up. Left side of the infield, Freddie Galvis calls off Michael Franco, and the side is retired. Blue Jays score a couple runs. They get a couple doubles, 3 hits overall.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys.
Carrera stays in the ballgame. He's in center field for the Blue Jays. Chris Dickerson is now in left field for Toronto. Steve Delabar is the new pitcher. Delabar will take over for the Jays. Last year, a 4.91 earned run average for Delabar. Some other changes. Steve Tollison moves from third base over to shortstop for the Toronto Blue Jays. There's Steve Tollison. And Matt Haig, who came on to pinch hit, is over at third base. Here's Freddie Galvis. He shows bunt, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. There's Matt Haig. 0-1 pitch to Galvis. Pops it up foul. It's 0-2. Freddie today is 1 for 2. Talked about Ben Revere. Ben Revere, 23 pitches and 3 at-bats. 6, 9, and 8 in that order. Only 2 other Phillies have seen as many as 4 pitches in an at-bat today. Wow. Swing and a miss. Add Freddie Galvis to that list. So a strikeout. 1 out here in the 7th inning. Darren Ruff is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
Well, Tom, you guys were talking about the big crowd here at Bright House Field. There certainly is a good one today. And a little extra bonus, something you don't often see at spring training games. The Phillies with a giveaway today in honor of the Toronto Blue Jays, of course, being here in town against the Phils. The Roy Halladay bobblehead given out to the first 6,000 fans in attendance today. It's the same one they gave out up at Citizens Bank Park last season, but the fans enjoying a little extra gift as they come in and sit in the Florida sunshine, enjoy some baseball, and get themselves a bobblehead as well. From the good folks at Toyota, of course, making these bobbleheads.
It's always a great item, and it's continued to be a popular item around baseball, the bobbleheads, the bobble figurines. Doc, of course, played for 2 teams. The Blue Jays and the Phils. In fact, when he announced his retirement, he went up to Toronto to officially announce his retirement. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Darren Ruff. Some happy folks with their Roy Halladay bobbleheads. Liner out toward right center field. That's it for a base hit. Carrera's going to cut it off. Ruff will stop at first. And the Phillies have their first hit since the 1st inning. '18 in a row retired by Toronto pitching between hits. Fanatic thinks it's all because of him. Jordan Danks will pinch run for Darren Ruff. So Ruff is done, 1 for 3 today. And here's Ryan Howard, who is probably up for the last time. Only his 3rd at bat. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning.
His 3rd pitch he's seen.
That's right. He swung at the first pitch on both at bat. Well, do you sometimes, I don't know if this is a dumb question or not, but do you sometimes go up to have an at bat in spring training where you are going to be overly aggressive just to do it for some reason?
I don't know. I mean, the first at bat was 1st and 3rd. You got a pitch to hit. He hit it very hard to first base. Bad luck. 2nd at bat, you're facing left-hander. You get a pitch to hit. He was aggressive. He hit it hard. Just unfortunately hit it at somebody. So some of those days, I don't mind guys swinging at the first pitch if they make solid contact and have a good approach. It's the guys that swing at the first pitch or a 2-0 pitch or a 3-1 pitch that hit a weak fly ball to left field, a weak fly ball to right field. A 3-U easy rollover.
1-2 pitch to Howard. Outside, 2-2.
And there's some guys that need to be aggressive. If you're a younger guy on the bubble, you might make the team, you might not. You might have to put up numbers to actually make the team. Well, this guy hit 380 in spring training. This guy only hit 300. Well, those numbers might enable you to make a club.
Swing and a miss. Howard is down on a high fastball, 94. 2 strikeouts for Delavar. And that'll bring Carlos Ruiz up. Carlos has popped out twice, both to the right side. Delavar pitched in 30 games last season for the Blue Jays. The year before, he pitched in 55, and he represented the Blue Jays in the All-Star game at Citi Field. Out towards shallow center field. Carrera says he has it. Wynn really took it in. Phillies do get a base runner. They leave one over at first, and will leave for the 8th inning. Top of the 8th inning, Blue Jays lead it 4-0. 4 runs on 8 base hits for the Jays, just 3 hits for the Phillies. Jordan Danks, who was a pinch runner for Darren Rupp, stays in the game to play left. Andres Blanco takes over for Freddie Galvis at shortstop. Russ Kanzler is in the game at first base. He'll take over for Ryan Howard, who had 3 at-bats today. The new pitcher is left-hander Mario Hollins. He got roughed up in the first game of spring training against the New York Yankees. He allowed 4 runs in the 9th inning. So Hollins is on here in the 8th inning. We made it a point to point out his stirrups and sanitaries in game 1. Well, after getting roughed up a little bit, most guys are superstitious. He's gone back to the more traditional, at least in this day and age, more traditional look. Jesse Biddle pitched 1 inning for the Phils. His velocity was outstanding. He was up somewhat, probably had some nerves, and there he is talking to Bob McClure. Again, the first step is getting him back on the mound, and Coy Hill came in and added a little bit to that conversation. Ryan Sandberg there as well. They may have even been discussing whether he was going to go out for another inning or so, even though his pitch count was high, because stretch him out a little bit.
I think Rhino honestly is asking them how many of those pitches were balls and how many were strikes.
Yeah, because I know you reacted to a couple of pitches that he didn't get.
I did. But stuff-wise, I'd be very, if I were him, I'd be very happy about the outing. Yeah, he gave up 2 runs, but you can see the stuff is there. And after, again, the issues that he had last season, it's nice to see.
Well, here is Justin Smoke. He takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Smoke is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the second. High fly ball to center field. And it's playable for Mastriani. And there's one out. Well, for Mario, even though he pitched the entire year last year in the big leagues, his effort today is to prove that the other day was just an aberration in spring training where he gave up those 4 runs. Here's Chris Dickerson up for the first time. Back toward the middle, and Hollins has got it. 2 quick outs. And Ezekiel Carrera will be the hitter.
That is the type of swings we saw from hitters last year throughout the season. The awkward swings because Mario Hollins hides the ball so well, hard to pick up, and jams a lot of guys because of that type of delivery.
Fastball in there. It's 0-1. Two.
The whole body turned in. He brings the ball out with his glove early, but he keeps that glove almost in the path the whole way where the ball is going to be coming through. That's what makes it so hard to pick up, especially for a left-hander. As a left-handed hitter trying to pick it up, I mean.
It's a bit of a crossfire as well.
Yeah.
Makes for a very uncomfortable bat for a lefty.
In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He fights it off, and he didn't get a piece of that. It's a strikeout and a throw out by Coy Hill. Great reaction by Hill. Boy, he had to get on that fast. 2-3 on the put out. 1-2-3 8th inning, and a great bounce back for Mario Hollins. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Blue Jays are on top 4-0. The Phillies have managed 3 hits today. 2 of those hits came in the first inning. All 3 have been singles. One was by Darren Ruff. The new pitcher for the Blue Jays is former Philly Kyle Drabeck. Blue Jays got him in the Roy Halladay deal. He's had to deal with 2 different Tommy John surgeries. Last year at AAA, 7-7, an ERA of 4.18. He and Travis d'Arnaud were really the kingpins in that deal for Roy Halladay. d'Arnaud is now playing for the Mets, and Drabek has just not been able to stay healthy to be a contributor for the Blue Jays. Here's Dominic Brown. We spent a lot of time in the open talking about Dominic and his approach, and Ben was talking about how good his BP was today. Well, he's 0 for 2 in today's game with 2 groundouts, and like everybody else in the Phillies lineup, has been very aggressive today, aside from Ben Revere. One ball, no strikes. Fouls it back. It's 1-1.
I'm sure he wasn't expecting to get his 3rd at bat in the 8th inning. You know, you're thinking you're a starter, you get 5 innings, 3 at bats, shut her down. Not today.
Fouls it away again. It's 1-2. I'll be interested to see as we go through spring training. You know, we talked about that split screen during the open. As we watch Dominic and see if he's able to find what he had in 2013 with his stance, with his hands, and everything.
Well, I think that the easy vision right now of watching Dominic Brown take swings in game is watch his upper body. If his upper body turns towards the pitcher and he goes away from the pitcher, he's getting in his bad habits again.
So if he's falling back.
Correct. It's okay to fall back. It's okay to fall back if it's a step back. A lot of left-handers will take that big swing and take that step back with their left foot. He takes that big swing and his front right hip, like we talked in the open, opens up, his shoulder opens up, and all of a sudden his chest, and he swings back away from the pitcher. We want that front shoulder closed over as long as possible. The point of contact, that's when you explode with your hips and your upper body.
Well, his day is done. Brian Bogusevic is going to come on and pinch run for Dominic Brown. Well, I thought you guys both brought up interesting points with Dominic, and he knows that everybody's been dissecting his swing over the last year or so. But Matt, you talked about his back foot and how that was positioned, and Ben, you talked about his arms and how they were positioned. Franco swings at the first pitch.
Just looking at that footage, if you can get your bat into a strong hitting position, that's where you want to be. And the key again is keeping that right arm where it's not straight. You're not pulling the bat back towards the umpire. That just creates a long swing and not a powerful position.
Here's the 0-1 pitch coming to Franco. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's that split screen we talked about. And Matt, you're talking about the foot.
Yeah, I'm talking about right here. That's where the weight he has to get off of. Here, the balance is perfect when he's coming in through. But here, on the one on the right in 2014, the hip starts to open up a little too early, which causes the arm bar to happen with his arms.
Fly ball foul down the left field line. And then, Ben, I think what you were saying was noticeable too with the hands, where it's straight back instead of looping back almost.
Yeah, and you want to get, we call it getting center, getting that bat. If you were to think about it, your bat on a 45-degree angle above your head, and that's called getting the bat centered. And then what that enables you to do is keep your bat, stay connected with that back elbow, make sure you're down in through the slot and through the baseball as opposed to coming down across the baseball and cutting it. It's very similar to a golf swing. If you come down across the golf ball, you're going to get that sideways spin on it and slice it. It's the bottom line. But if you stay connected with that back elbow, you're going to get to the ball, and you're going to hit through the baseball and create backspin, and that's how the balls carry.
2-2 to Franco. Phillies have the leadoff batter aboard here in the bottom of the 8th. Low ball 3. Yesterday, Phil Cuzzy didn't ask for help on any swing that we thought may have been a check swing. I didn't even think Franco moved the bat on that one, and they asked for help.
Well, remember yesterday though, there was no one to peel it down the lines either.
That's very true.
3 umpires.
I think if she had spikes on, she would have been able to plant her feet and make that play, but she slipped on the gravel. Softly to third. They get, oh no, they don't get one. Kawasaki could not hold on. That was not an easy throw for him to handle. And it puts runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
See, he was jammed. They're going to give him a low throw at second base. Almost like he wanted to try to catch it and roll 2 before just catching it.
Bogusevic was moving pretty good, so he's aboard at second base. Haig is charged with an error. And Mastriani takes a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. Chris Nelson has come on a pinch run over at first base, so he'll take over for Franco. Veteran infielder. 0-2. Boy, Drabek was such a big prospect in the Phillies organization before that trade for Roy Halladay. There's Nelson. His fastball was in the upper 90s at one point.
I believe he was the piece that got that Roy Halladay deal done.
That's why those deals are so hard for any team to make, because it's tough to always project. I mean, you can't project the injuries. I mean, he had all the stuff to be a major league pitcher. Whether he was a 1 or 2, nobody knows, but he would at least have been an effective, and still could be an effective starting pitcher.
How many guys do you hear? Oh, he's got all the tools. He's got all the tools. He's got all the tools. And they never make it to the big leagues.
Following the footsteps of his dad, who was an excellent major league pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
His father used to throw the first pitch curveball of every game. First pitch was a guaranteed curveball.
And it was a good curveball, too.
Very good curveball. 12-6. Didn't matter who he was playing against, who was hitting. First pitch of the game, that overhand curveball.
Pirates had a lot of those good teams offensively. Drabek was one of the foundation pieces of that rotation. There's bullpen action for the Jays. They brought a ton of pitchers. Jason Aquino is number 78, and Roberto Osuna is number 72. Off the end of the bat, out toward left center field, and it's going to hang up there. And 1 out here in the 8th inning, and Cesar Hernandez will bat.
Second baseman, Cesar Hernandez.
Phillies have had 5 base runners today. It's not a lot of base runners. On a positive note today, Mario Hollins was positive. Jonathan Papelbon was positive.
Very good.
Probably say the same about Jerome Williams and David Buchanan, too, even though Buchanan gave up the home run. Jerome was down in the zone. He gave up a run, but if he had fielded that ground ball, he would not have given up a run.
Jerome was excellent.
Yeah.
Good fastball, good late life on that sinker. A few cutters. Changeup was excellent. Very, very good.
There's Gomez warming up to pitch the top of the 9th inning. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And offensively, we need a bloop and a blast. This is a tie ball game.
Oh, that might have been the bloop, but it's going to hang up there for Carrera. 2 outs, and that'll bring Coy Hill to the plate. Throw a blanket down. Kids are running around the berm out there. Coy Hill does not have a hit yet this spring. Chops that one foul down the first base line. 0-1.
Do catchers ever get a called strike on them? Seriously.
Ball's way almost hit him, man.
Well, that was a ball there.
You're just talking about in general.
In general.
Not in spring training.
I think the other pitch is better than that one.
I know you guys are all buddy-buddy because you don't let the ball hit those guys. You protect them. Come on. Strike's a strike's, a ball's a ball, right?
Not to us. No, they do help us out in spring training. But again, like I said yesterday, don't take the next one because they will call it a strike.
Well, and that's just what
They'll
just
let
happened
you know.
at Coy Hill.
Yeah.
1 ball on 2 strikes. Runners lead off first and second. Swing and a miss.
That's a good little cutter there.
It was back-to-back cutters, it seemed, from Drayback. He allowed the first 2 batters to reach, but nothing else for the Phillies as we go to the 9th. The 9th inning, the Blue Jays on top of the Phillies. Brian Bogusevic stays in the ball game to play right field. Meanwhile, staying in the game to play third base, Chris Nelson. He came on a pinch run for Michael Franco. And the new pitcher is right-hander Jean-Marc Gomez. Second appearance for Gomez here at Bright House Field. Phillies picked him up from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last year with the Pirates, 44 games, a 3.19 earned run average. And he will face the bottom of the Blue Jays order, which will include Jindal and then Kawasaki. And the Phils will have one more opportunity offensively. Gomez finishing his warm-up tosses, 35 seconds on the clock. Now, we've talked about these speed-up rules over the last couple of days. The first couple of days, we saw them being enforced. Yesterday, not so much, with Phil Cuzzy behind the plate. And here, Gomez has 19 seconds now to deliver the first pitch, and Gindal has the same amount of time to step into the box. First pitch has to be delivered before the clock reaches 0, and it looks like both hitter and pitcher are ready to go. With 2 on the clock, Gomez delivers.
So he'd get fined there, or just a warning?
If he didn't deliver it at that point, I think he'd get a warning to start. I don't think that they've decided how the fines are going to be dealt out. Over the mound, Cesar Hernandez. A little trouble getting out of his glove, but he's able to complete the play. 1 away. The fine is, as we mentioned the other day, $499. Here's Kawasaki, man. He gets a round of applause everywhere he goes, doesn't he?
Love him up there.
Remarkable. I mean, the Blue Jays fans, the players, absolutely love this guy.
You ever see some of his interviews?
Getting better.
Oh, well, I liked him when he couldn't speak English.
Slaps that one, a base hit. He's bored, and a one-out single.
Is that easy, Matt? Man alive.
Here's Matt Haig.
Head down, Ichiro style.
Ichiro begins this year less than 200 hits away from 3,000 in the major leagues.
It would have been interesting to see if him play his whole career over here. How many hits he would have had, even when he was in his prime at a young age.
I loved playing with him. He was just... He could go 0 for 4 and still amaze you twice on the field. Do something on the field twice a game, he'd just be like, the heck did you do that?
I wonder if he'll get enough at-bats to reach 3,000 hits with the Marlins, because he's going to be a 4th outfielder. It may take a couple of years. Toss over to first. Kawasaki is back ahead of the tag by Kansley.
He signed about a 2-year deal?
Initially, I'm thinking 1 year with an option, but it might be 2. That outfield is so young, though. It's, with Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton.
Even if he doesn't get 200 hits with the Marlins, I somehow see him going back to Seattle to get that 3,000 hit. Yeah. He meant so much to that ball club, so much to the city. I mean, you think about how many people where are you going tonight? I'm going to the Mariners game to see Ichiro Suzuki play. And they did.
My last couple of years when I was playing, I tried to have Matt in the back of my shirt. It wouldn't go for it.
How about Mateo?
Mateo.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Gomez. Pretty good sinker. Haig get an RBI single his last time up. Tollison's on deck.
Great pitch. He did miss, but it was off the plate. He didn't miss out over the plate.
Came back in sort of the same location, maybe up a little bit more on that. It remains 2-2. If there is a depth in the Phillies this year, it is their bullpen. But they've added some arms here in spring training that not only could help out on the big club, but also be part of their AAA roster.
See a slider down and away and roll one over to shortstop. 6-4-3. So he's going back inside though.
In the air to left field. Danks back toward the track and has room and makes the catch. Quickly gets the throw in. On a different day, that ball would have been probably in one of the bullpens.
Thank you, my friend, the wind.
That's right.
Shortstop, Steve Tolleson.
And now Tolleson will come up. You see the breeze coming in from right center field. It's basically been that way the entire day. Temperature has reached the low 70s. The sun was out for a little bit here today. Tolleson struck out looking his first time up. Pulls that one toward the hole at shortstop past Blanco into left field. And the Jays now have runners on first and second with 2 men down. Josh Tolley, who walked his first time up, will be the batter. Back toward the middle, not hit that sharply. Backhanded by Hernandez, who was right at the second base bag to finish off the 9th inning. One last chance for the Phillies when we return to the bottom of the 9th. Hard to come by for the Phillies over the last couple of games. They trail at 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Bright House Field. That is Jason Aquino, who is the new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. And he is coming on to face Blanco and then Danks. Those will be the first 2 hitters for the Phillies. See what Aquino did last year in the minor leagues. He made 18 starts. He was 5-10 in those 18 starts. He is 22 years old from San Pedro de Macorís, the Dominican Republic.
The shortstop capital of the world.
Shortstop capital of the world,
isn't it?
It's turned it into well, the satellite pitcher capital. I mean, there's some pretty good pitchers that are coming out of there. So the young man earlier, the Miguel Castro kid, who pitched really well. Jonathan Diaz comes on to play shortstop for the Blue Jays, and Tolleson goes from shortstop over to third. We expected that offense would be tough to come by this year. The hope was that the Phillies would be able to manufacture and get offense from places we didn't expect, but it's been slow going the last couple of days. I guess that's an understatement, the way things have been.
Like you guys are both looking at me. It has, and do I make an excuse saying that they're working on things this spring training? I could, but it still comes back to the approaches and the early attack of pitches, and I think once you see Chase in the lineup, and that's going to help out a lot. He sets the tone of seeing pitches.
Cody Ashley sees a lot of pitches.
Cody Ashley does as well. But what we saw out of Ben Revere today, tremendous.
Yeah, Ben saw a majority of the pitches for any of the hitters through the first 6 innings of the game. He was lifted after going 1 for 3. 2-1 to Blanco. And Blanco rips one toward the alley in left center field. That's in for a base hit. And the Phillies will have their first extra base hit of the game. A leadoff double here in the 9th inning.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so Blanco is aboard. Good swing.
Fastball up the zone, drove to left center. This is what we were talking about in commercial break, Ben.
That's it.
One to Danks. One floats in for a strike. It's 0-2, 77 on that pitch. 1 run in the last 17 innings for the Phil's offense. Check swing.
That 1 run came off a Xavier Paul pinch hit homer.
Yep.
Still a very good crowd here at Bright House Field. Ended up being a pretty nice. I walked out of the room this morning. I was, it's a little chilly. I'm sorry to the folks back home. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, hopefully back home temperatures will move up into the 40s at some point. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Danks. Blanco decided not to try to go over to third on that ball off the glove of Tolley.
And for right now, you're pretty much station to station. Down by 4 runs.
Way inside, 3-2.
Don Brown in the dugout in between Charlie and Michael Jack.
There's a line drive base hit into center field. Blanco's going to hold up at third. You got to make sure that ball wasn't going to be caught. So the Phillies have first and third. They have back-to-back hits for the first time since the first inning. First and third with nobody out. It'll bring Russ Kanzler to the plate. And a trip to the mound, and we're going to have a pitching change for the Blue Jays with nobody out here in the 9th inning. Well, we said they brought a lot of pitchers, so Pete Walker going out to make a pitching change, and they're going to bring in the right-hander.
Must have been on an 8-pitch limit or something today.
I don't know. Maybe they saw something with his velocity, or they're just trying to get as many guys in as possible. So pitching change here at Bright House Field. The Phillies down 4-0. They have 2 runners on base. Here at the bottom of the ninth inning, but the Phillies had the first 2 runners on base with nobody outs. We mentioned Chase Utley and getting him back in the lineup today. We've been talking about the fact that he's been taking batting practice and doing a lot of things today over the last couple of days. And this is Chase running after taking some swings. Uh-oh, look out. Man's got a sore ankle. You got to watch those baseballs flying in there. But there he is as he leads off first and heads towards second. We have no timetable as to when he's going to play, but he is doing everything beyond playing in games over the last couple of days. You watched him take batting practice the other day, Ben, after doing your radio show on WIP, and he took a full batting practice.
Full BP. 2 days in a row, he really concentrated on staying up the middle and going to left field as well. You know, sometimes Chase, with that swing, he stands right on top of the plate. He gets a little pull happy from time to time, but he was really concentrating on the middle of the field and left center.
Well, here's Ryan Tepera, who's pitching now for the Blue Jays with runners on first and third, and Russ Kanzler is the batter. He takes a pitch outside. It's 1-0. Blue Jays, as far as the travel roster goes, still have 4 pitchers listed. I don't think all 4 will work here in the ninth inning.
I hope not.
1-0 pitch to Kaz. Down low, 2-0.
Look at that hole between first and second.
It is pretty big.
It's gaping.
Runners on first and third. One of those spots where you're looking for.
Normally you don't. Yeah, normally you don't play someone to pull that much.
Throw over to first. It's interesting too because Kanzler did play in the American League last year before coming over to the Phillies, but must be playing to the situation for Kawasaki at this point. 2-1. 2-2. You wanted to swing at that, didn't you, Matt?
Yeah, that was the what do you call the cement mixer.
Yeah,
that was just the spinner right there.
Swing and a miss. 1 out. Late break on it.
That one had the better down and away depth of that slider compared to the one he threw prior to that pitch.
Well, now Carlos Ruiz up for the 4th time today. He's popped up twice, flied out to center. So far 0 for 8 in the spring. Ground ball back to the box, knocked down. The Phillies will get a run. It'll be an RBI for Ruiz. Putout goes 1-3 at first. And a mock cheer from the Phillies fans because the Phillies were able to score a run here in the 9th inning. Carlos hit it hard. Well, Tepera did a nice job finding that ball.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see if he doesn't get a glove on it, if that ball goes through, because they were still playing the shift up the middle as well.
Well, now Bogusevic with runners at second base. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Phillies down 4-1. Doing a little dancing. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
One thing we never talked about yet is the thought process of them thinking about taking away from the shifts. That's not going to go through, is it?
No.
I mean,
There's no way.
How could you?
It's all part of the game. Out towards center field. That's pretty well hit. Carrera's going back. He is not going to get it. It's a one hop off the wall. A run will score. Bogusevic will pull into second. It's an RBI double, and the Phillies will bring the tying run to the plates.
Fastball right down the middle. It's another pretty swing by a left-hander. Driving the ball to left center for an RBI double.
He drove that ball well, so he's in scoring position. Here is Chris Nelson. Up for the first time. He came out as a pinch runner before. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. With Louisville last year, 274. Two strikes. Blue Jays fans aren't too far from here in Clearwater. Dunedin is the neighboring town, so usually when they play the Blue Jays and when the Phillies are over in Dunedin, there's good crowds for both teams. It's 1-2 strikes to Nelson. And now time is called. There's a bird that's found its way between home plate and the mound. There is said bird.
Pretty dove.
Dove does not seem to be bothered at all by the pitcher. The pop of the ball in the glove bothered him a little bit.
You think Randy Johnson isn't around? That bird exploded.
Who was he with? Was he with the Mariners? Or with the Diamondbacks?
Diamondbacks.
Over toward the hole, cut off by the third baseman Haig, and the ball game is over. The Phillies do score a couple runs in the ninth inning. They leave one in scoring position. However, the Blue Jays have handed the Phils their third consecutive loss. They lose it 4-2. We'll be back to wrap things up from Clearwater right after this.